no lie. Trying to find a soulmate, you end up being soul tied. I make my money, man, without the coca. Living la vida without the loca. I'm down south, so they show me country love, and I ain't even country thug. The people give me daps and hugs, so it must be love. And I love the country grub. It feel good to hear people singing welcome back. And I ain't even selling the track, cause I'm that Harlem cat. The names have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out. Have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out. Ooh, you know we need ya. Ooh, you know we need ya. Here's where we need ya. Here's where we need ya. Welcome back. Welcome back. You know you like that. 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 What? You know you like that. Come on. You know you like that. ready, Mace?
Party people in the place to be. It's about that time for us to.
Yeah, what you know about going out? Head west, red legs, TVs, all up in the headrest. Try and live it up, rock jewel, bigger truck, piece all glittered up. Stick a kid, nigga, what? Jig with a cut, sip crisp, spit it up. Hoes rock, get your nut till I can't get it up. I'm a big man, get this man room. I done hit everything from Cancun to Grand Tune. Why you stand on the wall, hand on your balls, lighting up drugs, always fighting in the club. I'm the reason they made the dress code. They figure I went wild when I'm in my fresh clothes. Dresses, I suppose, from my neck to my toes. Neck full of gold, baguettes in my rolls. Rec shows, collect those extra O's. By the E, get a key to the Lex to hold. East, west, every state, come on, bury the hate. Millions, the only thing we in the heavy to make. Whether from the ex-friend, intellect, or bins. Let's begin, bring this BS to an end. Come on.
Bad, 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 bad boy. You make me feel so good. You know you make me feel so good. You know you make me feel so good.
That's what we do.
Bad, 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 bad
Come on.
boy. I wouldn't change you if I could. I wouldn't change you if I could. I wouldn't change you if I could.
You can't understand, we be Waikiki, sipping DP to the TV look greedy. Little kids see me way out in DC with a Z3 Chrome BBs. They wanna be me. Niggas talking shit, they ought to quit. Unfortunate, they don't see a fourth what I get. And those be the same ones walking while I whip. Just started seeing cars cause they auction it. So while you daydream, mama say they gleam. And I deal with hoes that pose in Maybelline. One time you had it all. I ain't mad at y'all, now give me the catalog. I show you how daddy ball.
That's right.
6 cars and power to 5 big stars. Sit up CEO style, smoking on cigars, nigga. It's like y'all be talking funny. I don't understand language of people with short money.
Come on now.
Bad, 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 bad boy. You make me feel so good.
Come on.
You know you make me feel so good. You know you make me feel so good.
That's what we do.
Bad, 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 bad boy. I wouldn't change you if I could. I wouldn't change you if I could.
Come
I
on.
wouldn't change you if I could.
Dumaze got the ladies. Do Puff drive Mercedes. Take hits from the 80s, but do it sound so crazy?
With me personally, it's nothing personal. I do what work for me, you do what work for you. And I dress with what I was blessed with. Never been arrested for nothing domestic. And I chill the way you met me. With a jet ski, attached to a SC. Smoke my Nestle, no mad rap, ass cat with my check be. Problem with y'all, I said directly.
That's right.
Went from hard to sweet, starved to eat. From no holy shows to menage a suite. Now I be the cat that be hard to meet. Getting head from girls that used to hardly speak. Come on.
Bad, 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 bad boy. You make me feel so good. You know you make me feel so good. You know you
Bad
make me
boy.
feel so good.
That's what we do.
Bad, 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 bad boy. I wouldn't change you if I could. I wouldn't change you if I could.
Come on.
I wouldn't change you if I could.
Let's go.
Bad, 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 bad boy. You make me feel so good. You know you make me feel so good. You know you make me feel so good.
Come on.
Bad, bad, bad,
Don't stop.
bad boy. I wouldn't change you if I could. I wouldn't change you if I could. I wouldn't change you if I could.
Like we always do with this time, I go for mine, I get to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. I go for mine, I get to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. I'ma get on the TV, mama. I'ma push it down.
Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the good life. When niggas are CLD, won't even get pulled over in they new V. The good life, let's go on a living spree. Shit, they say the best things in life are free. The good life, it feel like Atlanta, it feel like LA, it feel like Miami, it feel like NY. Summertime shy.
Now throw your hands up in the sky.
So I roll through good, y'all pop the trunk, I pop the hood, Ferrari. And she got the goods, and she got that ass, I got to look sorry. Yo, it's got to be, cause I'm seasoned. Haters give me them salty looks. Lowry's 50 told me don't hear, switch the style up. And if they hate, then let them hate and watch the money pile up. Good like I go for mine, I got to shine.
Now throw your hands up in the sky.
I go for mine, I got to shine.
Now throw your hands up in the sky. I'ma get on the TV, mama. I'ma push it down.
Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the good life, where we like to girls who ain't on TV, cause they got more
ass than the models.
The good life, so keep it coming with the bottles. So she feel booze like she bombed at Apollo. The good life, it feel like Houston, it feel like Philly, it feel like DC, it feel like VA or the Bay or yay. Hey, this is the good life. Homie, tell me what's good. Why I only got a problem when you in the hood? Welcome to the good life. Like I'm doing the hood. The only thing I wish
a nigga would.
Welcome to the good life. He probably think he could, but I don't think he should. Welcome to the good life. 50 told me go ahead, switch the style up, and if they hate, then let them hate and watch the money pile up. The good life. I come for mine. Yeah, I got to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. I come for mine. I got to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. I'ma get on the TV, mama. I'ma push you down. Hey, have you ever popped champagne on a plane while getting some brain with it out? She said I never seen snakes on a plane. Whether you broke or rich, you gotta get this. Having money's not everything that having it is. I was splurging on trips, but when I get my car back activated, I'm back to Vegas. Cause I always had a passion for flashing. Before I had it, I closed my eyes and imagined the good life. Better than the life I lived when I thought that I was gonna go crazy. And now my grandmama ain't the only girl calling me baby. If you feeling me now, then put your hands up in the sky and let me hear you say, hey, I'm good. I make her say, when I poker face, poker face. I make her say, what up? Me first. She wanna have whatever she like. She can if she bring her friend, and we can have one hell of a night through the day. Hey, I mean, stand like a grouper cause you got a beeper. I mean, you probably might be saying you ain't jogging either, but man, old girl got a fat old ass. Yeah, the type to make you tell a bitch just dance. And fuck them other niggas cause you down for her bitches. Fuck them other niggas cause she down for the sticking. And fuck them other niggas so she down for some licking. And fuck them other bitches cause she down for the tricking. I'm hoping she a rider when it's said and done. She spit it up and swallow now. I ain't got a trip about them niggas who like her. Cause me and mommy know who can really make her go. Yeah, yeah. When I poker face, poker face, I make her say, yeah. When I, hey, what she talking about? Yeah, yeah. She said she want whatever she like. She said she gon' bring her friend, and we gon' have a hell of a night through the day. I made her say, hold up, born in 88. How old is that? Old enough. I got seniority with the sorority, so that explain why I love college. Getting brain in the library cause I love knowledge. When you use your medulla oblongata and give me scoliosis until I comatosis and do it while I'm asleep, yeah, a little osmosis. And that's my commandment, you ain't gotta ask Moses. More champagne, more toasts, more damn planes, more coasters, and fuck a bus to Benz park like Rosa Oza. When I poker face, poker face, I make her say, yeah. When I poker face, poker face, I make her say,
she said she want whatever she like, but you gotta bring your friend, and we can have one hell of a night through the day. She blamed it on the alcohol. She had her head did it, was bound to fall. Down for a damn cutty, already said it. Up on her Facebook, I'd already read it. But man, her head was gooder than the music. Electro body, known to blow fuses. A stripper from the south, looking for a payday. Said, bitch, you should do it for the love like Ray J. But they say, you be on that conscious tip. Get your head right and get up on this conscious dick. I embody everything from the golly to the party. It's the way I was raised on the south side safari, so when I poker face, poker face, I make her say, Yeah. When I
Hey yo, you ready? Let's do it. Yeah. Come on. I'm the definition of half man, half drugs, ass to clubs, bad boy, that's what's up. After bucks, crush crews after us. No games, we ain't laughing much. Nothing but big things. Check the hit list, how we twist shit. What changed with the name? We still here, you're rocking with the best. Don't worry if I write rhymes, I write checks. Who's the boss? Dudes is lost. Don't think cause I'm iced out, I'ma cool off. Who else but me? And if you don't feel me, that means you can't touch me. It's ugly, trust me. Get it right, dog, we ain't never left. We just move in silence and rep to the death. It's official, I survived what I've been through. Y'all got drama, the saga continues.
We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now, cause it's bad boy for life. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now, cause it's bad boy for
Hey, look,
life.
straight from the Harlem streets. I don't play, I push it down with the Harlem heat. All of a sudden, niggas got a problem with me. Black, what happened? They running around acting like the black don't can't eat. And you know what? For some strange reason, I'm on for this medication, feeling deranged, needing for y'all to put the word out. We ain't leaving. We trying to be rich before we all stop breathing. Therefore, we kinda hustle lanes. Stay laying down our muscle games. Still turn niggas' dreams to flames. You got the wire? If not, I ain't saying no names. You soon expire. No pain. I feel remorseless. Of course, it's me and Diddy up first, racing Porsches with the big twin valve exhausts. On the cover of your vibes, double XLs and sauces, bitch.
We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere.
We can't be stopped now, cause it's bad boy for life. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now, cause it's bad boy
It
for
ain't
life.
shit changed since the notorious. See everything still glorious. We still got warriors, still be the victorious. See it's a lot of them, but it's more of us. Still got cash to blow, raps to flow. Still them cats to know, pack the flow. That's for sure. Bottles to pop, joints to rock. Play the background, handle my jock, holding my Glock. Money to get, cars to flip, bars to sit at and sip cognac with juice to drip. Hoes to see, make sure they knowin' it's me. Drop that D, can't believe that I MC. Bad boy to the casket drop, gotta love it, place nothing above it. It's on like that, don't believe we ain't going like that. For always gonna be here, we there, every motherfucking year.
We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere.
We can't be stopped now, cause it's bad boy for life. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now, cause it's bad boy for life.
We ain't going nowhere.
Going
We
nowhere.
gonna stay right
We
here
ain't
forever
nowhere.
and ever
We can't be
and
stopped
ever
now, cause
and
it's bad boy
ever.
for
Come
life.
on. We ain't going nowhere.
Going nowhere.
We gonna stay right here.
Going nowhere.
We ain't going
We
nowhere.
can't be stopped now.
We
cause
gonna
it's
stay
bad
right here.
boy for life. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now, cause it's bad boy for life.
Don't wanna
Cheers.
be a player. I don't wanna be a player no more.
I'm not a player, I just crush a lot.
Punisher, still
a lot. But you know, Big Pun Joe is still down below. Who's down to cry?
Hey, yo, I'm still not a player, but you still a hater. Elevator to the top high. See you later, I'm gone. Penthouse suite, penthouse freaks, in-house beach, French couch seats, 10,000 piece, rent out lease with an option to buy. Copping a 5 of Benz for when I'm not. Up in the sky, off in the lie. With my Twincito, up in the Benzito with my Kiko from Queens, nickname Benito. We go back like PAs and wearing PJs. Now we reach the P gauge, running trains for 3 days. Who wanna ride? It won't cost you $1 with a sore for harder. Of course, you're still gonna holler, mama, I'm thick. I rip my through your hooters, I'm sick. You couldn't measure my with 6 rulers. Hold up, true lie, I'm all about getting loot, but I knock that bull if you out to get cool.
I don't wanna be playing no more.
I'm not a player, I just crush a lot.
Punisher, still got what you're looking for.
Uptown, baby, uptown.
I don't wanna be playing no more.
I'm not a player, I just crush a lot.
But you know, Big Pun Joe is still down below. Who's down to cry?
I love from Puerto Rican, the black brand, but last I don't discriminate. I regulate every shade of that. Long as you show class and pass my test. Fat and breasts, highly intelligent bachelorettes. That's the best, I won't settle for less. I want to get a brunette with unforgettable sex. I lay your head on my chest and feel my heartbeat. We can park the Jeep, pump more deep, and just spark the leaf. It's hard to creep since I found Joe. Every pretty round brown wanna go down low. Put this boogie down professional. I'ma let you know once I put the blows. Get your clothes, cause you got to go out the door downstairs. Little brown hairs everywhere.
You nasty twin.
I don't care. Round here they call me Big Puns. If you with the big guns, big tongue, known to make a chick hot tub, popping bubbly, rubbing your spot, love. Got to scream and punish me, but it don't stop. Watch the pun get wicked when I even look be like, don't stop, get in a hot tub, popping bubbly, rubbing your spot, love. Got to scream and punish me, but it don't stop. Watch the pun get wicked when I even look be like, don't stop, get it, get it.
I don't wanna be playing no more. Punisher, still got what you're looking for. I don't wanna be playing no more. But you know, Big Pun Joe is still down below. Who's down to cry? Morena, Boricua, Morena, Boricua, Morena, Boricua, Morena, Boricua, Morena, Boricua, Morena. No more rolling with nothing to rush, unless it's pawn in the terror squad.
richer, the poor get poorer. See, I'm here to save the city like Sodom and Gomorrah. Got an order, I'm awaiting from a 404. My aura's not the Torah, plus I'm jazzy like Nora. See my code, they call me Wody, and don't even know me. I've been around the world, man, without a roadie. See, I'm classic like a oldie, save the game like a goalie. Got my rollie, holy, so you can call me Holy Roly. You don't know what you're in for, don't do no endo. I'm not tinting my windows, I'm not ducking no bimbos. I'm saying N-O to the nymphos. You got something to say, it's in your memo. Do you remember how I used to be? Back in 96, when I made you move your feet. The feeling's back, so get up out your
Guys, there's tons of space up at the front. Could we come filter up here? Everybody in the back. In the back. That's you, everybody. If there's some space over here, can we filter up here? Perfect. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started. First of all, everybody, thanks for being here. We're getting dangerously close to summer. Let a few more people trickle in. Guys, let's bring it in. Thank you. Way excited. We're right here at the bitter end. We're coming up on summer way quick. We've got a blitz next week. We've already had one, and then a lot of guys are getting started beginning of April. So way excited to be here. I have the pleasure of introducing a guy who I know pretty well personally, so everyone's here to hear from Cal, so I'll keep it way brief. Grew up in Salt Lake, a winner his whole life. If you haven't listened to his podcast, shameless plug for the landing pad. His episode is great. A little bit about Cal as a salesman, just so you guys know who you're hearing from tonight. We've got two-time Golden Door winner, did $1 million in service revenue last year, has sold at an elite top 1 to 5% level for the last 4 years. So to put it into perspective, guys, you're hearing from one of the very best to ever do it. On top of being an incredible salesman, an incredible leader, one of the biggest downlines at the Grit in organizations, I want to spend way more time talking about Cal as a person before I introduce him. There's people in life where when you find them, you are absolutely unequivocally confident that no matter what the situation, no matter how stacked the deck, no matter how unfavorable the odds, you find people in life where you recognize, hey, this guy is like gonna get it done. I could drop this guy in damn near anywhere and he's gonna come out on top. Cal is one of those people. I've seen Cal overcome time after time, summer after summer, year after year, door after door. The person who you guys see up and training in front of you today isn't someone who hasn't gone and lived it and tested his mettle himself. So guys, today you have a privilege to hear from, in my opinion, the authority on switchovers. You have a chance to hear from one of the best human beings I know. You have a chance to hear from someone who has gone out and lived it, breathed it, been bloodied through it. So guys, today if you take anything away, take away all the sauce that Cal's got for you, but if you're gonna do anything, learn from Cal as a person because he's one of the best I've ever met, as well as my best friends. Give it up, 50 Cal Escobedo.
Hello. All right. Let's get right into it. I think I'm doing this right. BK? I'm pressing the big one, right? Whoops. Bad. Close your eyes, guys. This is the whole thing. We're starting from the back. Close your eyes. Okay, so guys, today I'm going to talk about switchovers. This is it's funny, my first my first 3 years of knocking, I don't even know, I might have done a handful of switchovers, but I just looked at switchovers like sometimes people would literally be oh, I have a company, I'd be oh, okay, cool, they're doing a good job? Yeah, okay, cool, thanks. And I'd be on my way. That's my mentality on switchovers, which is so funny now because now after having knocked for as long as I've been knocking, this will be my 8th year, guys, so been doing it for a minute. But when you've done it for a while, you kind of realize switchovers honestly they really are the perfect candidate. Why? Because they already see the value in pest control. That's why they have it. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the mentality of why you should be excited about a switchover. I think that will help you sell more. Just like anything, if you're really bought into something, if you're really convinced, sales is extremely mental. You guys, if you're a first year, you'll realize that pretty quick. If you've sold before, you know for sure that pretty much what determines your success is between your ears. So your perspective on switchovers is going to really matter. So before we get into it though, last week we got to hear from Skylar, one of my really good friends, someone I really look up to. recap really quick, just going over some of the really technical things that he went over. And we have a microphone floating around somewhere that someone will be able to hand out. So raise your hand, a couple quick takeaways. Let's go 4 takeaways from last week. Otherwise I'll start calling on people. Right here. Here.
He was really talking about.
You can hold it.
He was going into deep on like mirroring, like if the customer like comes out aggressive, like just be aggressive.
Okay. Mirroring. So in mirroring, right, this is good. Like you're not mirroring their mood, right? If they come out like angry, you're not mirroring the angriness. You're mirroring their energy, right? You're not like backing down, right, and like looking like, oh, okay, like sorry, man, like, yeah, that's really, really good. Okay. Okay, over there.
One thing that stood out to me was when he receives like an objection or a smoke screen, the stance, like after like he hears it, he spreads his legs, crosses his arms, like showing as a sign like he's not going anywhere. Like he's here to take care of the situation.
Really good.
One thing I took, well, information is conveyed by what you say, but the attitude by which your customers perceive you is conveyed on purpose.
Yeah, so much of like what people will remember or just like what they receive will be honestly through not even like the actual words. It'll be like the way you're saying it. Like you guys have probably heard your mom say like, hey, don't do that. And then you probably heard your mom be like, don't do, like mad. And you remember those things like way, way more because of the way she said it, and it like meant a lot more. Okay, let's do one more.
Just can't face, be like Spike. Almost like be like Mike, but be like Spike. Just go out,
Yeah.
rest your eyes, soft smile, and no matter what they throw at you, you've heard it a million times.
Yeah. Yeah, like you never, I say this a lot, Easton says this all the time, you never want to get got on the doors. You never want to look like, oh, like surprise, like you got hit by a punch that you didn't know was coming. I'm going to talk about that too, so that's really, really good. So we're going to use some of this stuff today. Just some fun pictures. Is Kenzie here? Not yet? She'll be here. It's my wife, right there and right there on the 2 right pictures. There she is. Round of applause for Kenzie and Courtney coming in late. That's awesome, guys. Really great. Good impression. Okay. So, yeah, put the, Rumble or the GUR champion picture up there just to let everyone know that it was Driving Raptors that day. Who won? That's me in the cowboy hat holding the trophy. Okay, getting into it. First thing, mentally, right? A lot of guys, the reason like I for a long time was like super not stoked about switchovers is simply because I felt like it was a hassle or a longer sales process. You need to get that out of your head, okay? So if you're a first year and you haven't ever sold before, you need to know one thing and one thing only is that they already have what you're trying to give them. You're just trying to give them a better version of what they already have, okay? Simple, very, very simple. It is not a big deal to switch. Okay, guys, in real world situations, if you do sales, most of your sales are switching, right? If you're a real estate agent, you're not banking on like, oh, my whole client base is going to be first-time homeowner buyers. Like, if you're banking on your client base being like the majority of them first-time homeowners, it's going to be a really, really small customer base. Imagine if you sell phones, right? Imagine you work for Verizon and you're like, yep, this year, I really hope that there are like 1 million people signing up for the first time with a phone plan. For the first time, I really hope that works out. Like that would be a really stupid and really like bad way to approach that job, right? Switching companies is not a big deal. Who in here has switched phone plan companies? Is it a huge shift? When you shift the next day, are you like walking around feeling like different? Like, whoa, like this is a totally different world. Does anyone feel that when they switch phone plans? Does it feel pretty much the exact same? Okay, it's not a big deal. It happens literally all the time. If you sell insurance, right? A large portion of your customer base is going to come from people that were using previous insurance companies, like the majority, like almost everybody, right? If you work for State Farm, where are most of your clients coming from? Allstate, Aflac, I don't know, like all these companies, right? Like it's like the majority of your customers are going to come from other companies, jobs. Who knows, like in corporate world, right? Like big boy jobs, like how often do people switch jobs? Anyone know? Who was saying it? Every 3 to 5 years. Every 3 years, okay. And I looked it up. We saw some that said 2.7. We saw some that say like 3.4. The point is people, like, even when they're signing up for their career, switch jobs. Okay? So it is not that crazy to switch things up in life. Okay? And one thing with that, guys, like, I'm just a huge person on trying things, okay? Just really quick, this is kind of snippet into my brain, dude. Trying things, like, I'm the type of guy. Ben has been one of my best friends, literally, like, for a long time. Ben, do I ever try and get the exact same drink when I go to the gas station? Does it get weirder and weirder? The fruity, dude, if there's a new energy drink, I am trying it. Why? Because I would hate to have somebody come up to me and be like, dude, this is my favorite drink. And I'm sitting there like, frick, I've never tried that one, you know? Like, that sucks. I hate like going days without like knowing what that would be like. Like, once I've like tasted it and I'm like, oh, that's not for me, I didn't lose anything. I really didn't. What, $2, $3, $4? It's like, cool, but now I know, right? How awesome is it when you discover something that's awesome? And you're like, that is now my drink. For now, at least. Right? The point is things shift all the time. We shift our clothes, we shift our style, right? We shift like what we like. Even like for you guys that are dating, like you're gonna like, oh, this is the girl that I think I want, and then all of a sudden 2 years later it's this type. It's like the point is like if you think that people have like this is what that person buys and that's it for the rest of their life, that is wrong. They shift all the time. They change all the time. So these are my 3 mantras constantly when I'm doing switchovers. And honestly, I apply this to like normal sales, but specifically towards switchovers. These are my 3 mantras. 1, a win is a win. Okay, I drive a Raptor. Who in here knows what a TRX is? Okay, what has more horsepower, a TRX or a Raptor? TRX, so who wins? TRX. It's maybe only a little bit, but it wins, period. Is 4 better than 3? Is it more? Can I argue that? No, a win is a win. A lot of times, guys, I'm gonna talk about this. So many times when people approach the door to a switchover, oh, you have Terminex. They think that they need to make it like this extremely sexy, different plan. So different, we're gonna win in the eaves by 1 million. We're gonna win in the base by 1 million. They only do 1 foot, we do 4 feet, right? You're trying to make it like this crazy thing. You don't need to have it be like wins across the board for them to switch. A win is a win. Okay? If you're gonna do something, you might as well do the best. We believe this is something that's really sellable, right? If you go to, who likes Chipotle? Who adds guac? Who also gets a drink? A couple people. Some people, you guys don't get drinks? Just like water? I guess you guys are pretty young, right? When you go get dessert with your family, who gets dessert usually? Okay. If you buy a new car, who's bought a new car recently? Okay. Wills, do you have leather seats in your car? Because you're going to spend a bunch of money, you might as well. If you're going to get something, you might as well get the best. Do you have a car wash subscription? Do you like dirt on your car? Okay, you should probably get a car wash subscription, bro. Okay? If you're gonna do something, you should do the best. That just is way more fun. Like, dude, if you're gonna be like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna play golf, but like, I'm only gonna have a putter. That's stupid, okay? No, if you're gonna play golf, you should probably just get the full set. You should probably go to the range, do the things. It's way more fun once you get good, right? If you're gonna do something, you might as well get the best. Okay? Just try it. This is back to my, like, telling you kind of like a snippet into my brain, but like, guys, like, at the end of the deal, I'm gonna talk about this. Do you know how many deals I close by being like, dude, honestly, like, I think you're gonna really like it, dude. I've done all these people in here. I think you should just try it. You wanna try it? Like, simple, like so simple. Like, do you wanna try it? Again, what do you have to lose? Like, what do you have to lose signing up for a year of pest control service? Right? Especially if you already have a company. You're already paying $700 a year. You're already paying $600 a year. Switch to me. What's the risk? You know what I mean? Just try it. I believe in the service so much. I tell these people, just try it. You'll love it. Just try it. You'll see. Just try it. You'll see. When you can display that confidence in your service to the point where you're just simply selling on, just try it. Just try it, right? Who wears Lulu to the gym? Lulu's way more expensive than like Target stuff, right? Okay. If you were to sell somebody Lulu, dude, just freaking put those shorts, just try it, dude. Just try a pair. And what happens? What happens when they try their first pair of Lulus? They don't typically go back to buying the Kirkland brand stuff. Typically. Okay? Just try it. So, what I am trying to accomplish in the initial approach, the customer comes to the door. So extremely heavy credibility is really important, right? This is what's going to happen, right? Is they're going to, especially like if you're in a market where there's other door-to-door companies, which is like most of you guys, you're going to have to be different than the other kids that have previously knocked there. Because they've probably gotten people that have tried to switch them previously, okay? You're going to have to be different if you want to get different results. So you're going to have to display heavy credibility. How do you get heavy credibility? What is the credibility, right? Like what does that look like when you are looking credible and sounding credible? What is like someone bandwagon? Bandwagon is the heaviest credibility. What else? What does a person that's credible look like? Right? This is what Skylar talked about last week. What does that look like? Just describe it. What if you have long hair? Because Skylar has long hair.
You can have long hair, you just have to put it up or just like make it look good.
Like Skylar, is it always in a braid? Okay, so what about him though? Because he has his hair out.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if it looks good, if you don't look like you're a homeless person, it doesn't matter, you just have to look the part.
Yeah. A lot of trick questions, sorry.
Own what you look like. It's like if you look like Skylar, be the most confident Skylar out there. If you look like Calvin, be the most confident Calvin. And if you're a guy who stole everybody, be the most confident guy who stole everybody.
The thing that is going to be the most attractive to everybody in this world, right, is going to be you loving yourself. Credibility, right? If you see somebody that looks insecure, unsure of themselves, right? You guys have seen people that like look like they kind of get it, but you can feel something is off. They're trying too hard or they're like faking it. You can feel it, right? The kid that's like when you think of like infomercial, right? Like the guy is just being so extra, like OxyClean, like he's yelling, he's like way over the top, right? He's like overcompensating. You can feel like a level of like, whoa, dude. Like, so the guy on the door that's like looking shifty or like, he's like looking like he just did like a line of cocaine. He's looking shaken. Like, dude, it's like, dude, you don't look credible. You don't look confident. You don't look comfortable. You can have a beard. You can have long hair. You can wear flip-flops. Where's Parker? Parker wore Chacos for like a whole summer. Still sold a ton. You can look however you want to look. You can wear what you want to wear. You can wear Travis Scott's, but you gotta look confident. Okay? Nonverbals, paraverbals, verbiage. This will also be verbiage, right? You got to make sure that you're like communicating things in a really simple way. And if you're over talking, if you're talking too much or talking too fast, saying too many words, that's going to display that you look nervous, and you're trying, again, you're forcing it. It just doesn't feel like you're the guy, okay? This might be like your first day or something. Now what I'm trying to do in the initial approach, okay, so this is what's going to keep me in the fight of this switchover, like really, really easy, is rapport. Being really likable, okay? So they open the door, it's like, hey, how's it going? Good, do my intro. Do you guys have a company or not yet? We do. Who do you guys have? Terminex. Oh, Terminex. Everything is very positive early in the sale, okay? I'm going to be very like agreeable. Yes, yeah. Oh, cool, yeah. I seem very stoked, okay? I don't want this to ever turn confrontational and get like I'm butting heads with the customer. Oh, you have Terminex? All right. Like, I don't want this to get like too serious. I want it to stay loose, okay? Because what's going to happen is if I can create like this early rapport with the customer, I'm going to be able to be way more blunt throughout the sale and more direct. And I'm going to get to the point quicker, and I'm not going to have to pitter or patter around like the switch. Parker, get a mic.
I was just gonna say, like, I think customers expect you when they tell you they have a company to be like shocked and to do that whole hunker down thing. But when you act like you're excited, like, oh, Terminex, perfect, yeah, I'm glad. It breaks them down because that's what every other sales rep does. Is they say, oh, I have Terminex, and immediately it's like their face just all the color goes out of it. It's like, crap, I'm not gonna get this sale. So like, be excited.
Yeah, that's like me my first 3 years. We have a company. Oh, you do? Is it working pretty good? Perfect. I'm on my way, right? Like, oh, you do? Is it Ehrlich? They're pretty good, huh? Okay. Like, oh, you do? Don't get got, ever, right? Perfect, this is exactly what I wanted. And that's why if you guys look at like the verbiage of the intro, that's why, do you have a company or not yet? That's perfect. Both of those options are people that fit in your customer base. Easy, okay? Now what I want to do is I want to show them that I totally understand their situation before I start selling, okay? Imagine this. This is kind of like, this is like what I imagine I'm doing in a weird way. If you go to a doctor because, like, I don't know, something was wrong, you're taking medication, a previous doctor prescribed it to you. The doctor is going to be very objective, meaning fact-based at the initial approach when he's asking these questions. He's going to say, okay, cool. So what's your prescription that you're taking right now? I'm taking this. Okay, why? Why did the previous doctor prescribe that to you? Well, because this, and this. Okay, cool. Now the doctor is the professional, and he's now going to be able to re-prescribe them a better treatment that's going to better work for them, that's going to give them better results, which is what they want. Does that make sense? Raise your hand if that makes sense. I'll say it one more time. They want no bugs. That's the prescription that the previous guy wrote. No bugs. Is it ever perfect in pest control? Almost always. I'm going to talk about how you can find these holes in these companies, but every company pretty much that I don't know of a company that I've ever been like, oh, I can't switch them over, not one. Not one customer switches from this company. They all are vulnerable to a degree. Okay, because it's never going to be perfect. So all I want to do before I start the process of comparing and contrasting is demonstrate that first I want to know their situation really, really well before I start being like kind of a shark. Does that make sense? If I come out swinging, what are they going to do? They're going to put a wall up. They're going to get defensive. Oh, Terminex, they suck. So biggest reason why I've switched over all these people, dude, Terminex sucks. I'm sure you know they suck. Then you know they suck. If you start like that, right? No, for no reason. You guys, who was sold before? Raise a hand, vets. How many people have felt customers get defensive about their company when you're like, there's no way you're that loyal to your company? But it's because you just, maybe the approach, the initial part was a little bit untasteful for them. And for that reason, they put up a wall. For example, I'm sure you guys know people that are not really, really big BYU or Utah fans. But if for some reason this BYU fan is like all of a sudden talking all this crap about Utah, even though you're not maybe like a huge Utah fan, what are you going to do? Get defensive. Start defending Utah. You don't even know these stats, but you're just like, dude, they're better. You know, like, dude, BYU sucks. I promise, they do. I don't know for sure, but like, I think I hate them, right? For whatever reason, we are just programmed to put up walls when we feel somebody is like attacking. So early on, my initial approach, and I'll show you what it sounds like, right? But essentially, I'm trying to create heavy credibility. Okay, I'm the doctor that everybody needs to see. I give the best prescriptions. I am very likable. I'm very understanding. I show them with my body language. I'm bobbing my head. Yeah, totally. Okay, yeah. And I'm very like positive with everything I'm doing, and it's showing them that I am a friend, not an enemy. I'm not coming out swinging yet. So what it sounds like. Do you have a company or not? Yeah, we have Terminex. A lot of times you'll hear this too, guys. You'll hear, yeah, we're good, we have a company, right? Doesn't matter. This is where the sale, like this is where the switchover process starts. Okay, I'm just gonna read this. Where's the other microphone? Give it to Brock. Can you just, can you read that, Brock? Can you just read the customer's responses just so we can hear how it flows?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a company or not yet?
Yeah, we got Terminex.
Oh, cool. Terminex, I'm super familiar with Terminex. Terminex is like one of the big ones, Terminex and Orkin. So Terminex usually does quarterly. Sometimes they do bi-monthly. Are you guys doing the quarterly plan or the bi-monthly?
I think it's like every 3 months.
Yeah, okay, the quarterly one. So when they come out, I'm sure you've seen them when they service, right? Like they spray the base of the home, right? They'll do the inside. Sometimes they'll knock down stuff up high. And then obviously like if you need something in between, they'll come back for free. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Cool. And then did you guys upgrade and do the yard? Wait, no, I said. Did you guys upgrade and do the yard subscription for ticks, fleas, and mosquitoes, or are you guys just doing the basic house plan?
No, we just do
Just the basic one? Okay, perfect. So yeah, the reason why a ton of your neighbors have switched to me, and the reason why people are trying me out, and then I go to the eaves. So, right here, guys, really, really important. I am setting up, and this is maybe something that I do that some people don't, I am setting up the sale to always win in the yard. Every single door. Every single switchover, I can win in the yard. Why? Because when people sign up for pest control, what do they see happen to their house? To their house. Spray the base, the guy sprays the base. I've seen him with this like little stick thing, and then, yeah, that's about it. And then I know I can call them. They try and get you with that sometimes. Like I can call them, they'll come back for free, right? But that's it, right? Do they see them like typically corner to corner, like spraying the yard? Like what companies typically do that? Very few, almost none, okay? Sometimes they'll do the mulch beds, but that's just around the home. We've had Active for a minute since the summer. I've never seen my guy spray. You've seen him maybe like a couple times. People just typically don't watch either. Like they just don't know, like they don't watch. So it's not like they're like, no, he uses Delta Guard, promise, he granulates with Delta Guard, and he uses Tempo. Like they rarely, unless you're like in the South, you rarely get corrected on like what chemicals or what exactly is the process for how they get their house sprayed. Does that make sense? So how do I always win? Easy win, always, the way I set it up. Say it with me, 1, 2, 3. The yard, easy win, okay? Easy win, okay? And you know how I also go right here? You see also, I give them the eaves. I'll give them, I know that they're gonna do the base, I'll give them that, right? I'll give them the eaves too. Yeah, they sometimes knock stuff down, because I've had people too, guys, like who's had this as a vet, where you're like, yeah, they just do the base, they do the inside, that's it. And they're like, no, they actually correct you and they do something up high. Who's had that before? Bad, now you got, okay? So I'll give them the eaves, like, yeah, they knock stuff down, right? But I'm still on top because I put in the very, very key word right here, and sometimes they knock stuff down. You hear I kind of minimize that? Because it is not every time. Who has sold for other companies before? How many times did your techs not do the eaves? Tons, okay? I've sold for Terminex, Insight, I've sold for GreenX, I've sold for White Knight, Axiom, I've sold for Triangle. A lot of companies miss the eaves simply because the tech is lazy. So a lot of times, I shouldn't say lazy, it's a lot. That's like the most, honestly, time-consuming and like physically frustrating part of being a tech is doing the eaves. So put your guys in their shoes. You got 12 jobs a day, and that's like, imagine like 2-story home, it's 4,000 square feet, and you got to get like webs on these tall roof lines. Like, You're gonna get it every single time? Like, probably not. Like, you just probably not, you know? Okay. Questions? Okay. So, this is back to I write better prescriptions than other previous pest control guys have done. This is that thought process, okay? I want to, again, our service fits their needs better. This is part of me. This is why I'm asking them and clarifying their current situation. It's kind of like, imagine I sell insurance and I'm like, okay, cool, who do you use for insurance? And you're like, I use State Farm. I'm like, okay, cool. So are you doing this plan or this plan? Like, this plan. Okay, cool. So that means it's this included, this included, this included, this included, this included, right? Does that sound about right? Cool. And you pay about this much? Cool. Now I understand your situation, and now that I'm with you and seeing you, I see that you got kids, I see that you got this, I see that you got a four-wheeler. I'm gonna now maybe offer you, right, the better insurance for your situation, for your family, because you have a four-wheeler and you like to go crazy, or because whatever it is, your current plan doesn't include collision and you've gotten in a car wreck before, right? Like, whatever your insurance plan, I'm gonna now poke a hole and I'm gonna give them a service that fits their needs better. So this is like throughout the whole thing. So what I'm gonna do you guys, like, cool, did you guys sign up for the yard subscription, the extra one, or are you just doing the basic plan? Just the basic plan, okay, cool. So yeah, so the reason why I've done tons of people in here, like the reason why John and all these guys like switched to me, up high, you guys have these eaves. And this is where it sounds really similar to a normal sale. The only difference, guys, is in the eaves, the base, and the yard, I'm gonna tell them what their company doesn't do on top of what we do. That's the only difference. Does that make sense? So up in the eaves. So you guys have these super tall roof lines. We knock this stuff down, right? Wasps and spiders, obviously, you know that they like to go up high. Terminix are really good. They just don't treat the eaves. Sometimes they'll knock stuff down, but you guys could do that yourself. Do you hear how I'm creating a problem? I'm creating a dilemma with their service. I'm poking a hole in it. What does Terminix not do? Treat the eaves. Why is that a problem? Because if you don't treat the eaves, like if you just hose it down or knock it down with a pole, right? First of all, you could do that yourself. It's kind of a waste of money to pay someone to do something you could do yourself very easy. But second of all, right, and I'm not saying that to a customer, I'm just communicating that, like, read between the lines, right? But these bugs will keep coming back. And you signed up for pest control to not have the bugs be on your home. You signed up for pest control to not have any bugs. So that's why that's a problem, okay? Let them sit on that. Now I move on to the base. We're not gonna probably win in the base. I hear a lot of people that are like, yeah, so they only do a little square around the base, like a 1 foot up, 1 foot out. We do 3 feet by 3 feet. I think that's like, I mean, you guys do what you want, but like, in my opinion, it's just like a very arbitrary argument. It's just like 3 feet versus 1 feet, right? It's like, I don't know. I feel like that's not the battle I'm trying to pick. What I will do, if it's Terminix, they're a nationwide company. They buy stuff that works for the nation. The market. They don't like differentiate products for market. So we, right? If you guys are with Axiom, that's a local pest control company. If you guys are with GreenX, they're going to be local, right? They're going to have really good quality stuff. Typically, I'm just going to win on simply we use higher quality stuff that lasts longer for whatever it is in that market. If it's Portland, it's going to be the rain. It's going to be more weather resistant. If it's the heat, because it's south, it's going to be this product lasts a little bit longer in the intense heat because you're from here. And this is where I can just get them to simply agree with me, right? This is a different climate than other places. If you're using the same stuff for everywhere, do you see how that could be a problem? Brock?
Aptiv also does differentiate their service a little bit, market to market. I know where I started this year in Chicago was different than some of the services that they run down in the south. When you get to the market, the branch manager will teach all that, but that's another huge win that you can use if you're selling with Aptiv. Like, they really do change it market to market according to the needs of the climate and the bugs. Where Terminix working, it's the same stuff everywhere.
Does that make sense, guys? So you're going to win on the chemicals being better for that situation. If you're in Arizona or the desert, what is that climate like? Hot, dry, right? So you would need a product that would work better for hot and dry, right? You wouldn't use a product that's good for Massachusetts, where it's cold and snowy a lot of the time. That'd be different. See how that makes sense? Yard. I set it up perfect. So yeah, the biggest thing, and this is the biggest thing, and this is where I never lose, okay, is the yard. What is the need that, like, what's the need that I'm creating in the yard, like that you just create on every sale? What does the yard do for bugs? That's where they come from. All the bugs. If you see webs on the outside of their house, where did those spiders come from if they have a pest control company? They came from the yard, and the reason you guys still have this stuff up here is because they're not treating the yard. Now their prescription that they were signed up for previously isn't working perfect, and now that makes sense, right? I treat the yard, that's where the source is, now what? Bye-bye bugs. Make sense? What happens if they granulate the yard, like, you know, Moxie or some of these other companies, they'll granulate the yard. How do I win? A lot of markets that you guys are going to be in are going to include like have problems with ticks, okay? Granules are like little pellets. They're going to, with water, right, go into the soil. Granular is not for the blades of grass. What's it for? It's for getting it down into the soil. It's a bait for ants, right? So if you granulate, right, I'm going to win on the spray. We spray the grass. I'm going to make that a win. Now it's funny because I've sold for companies that only granulate. What happens when I run into a company that sprays? And I granulate. Like if you guys are with Axiom, right? Who's going to be with Axiom this year? Okay, Axiom granulates. You run into a company that sprays the yard. How are you going to make granulars a win? Sprays, you cut your grass probably once a week, I'm assuming. Do you cut your grass once a week, Carson? Okay. Obviously, like if you just spray the grass and you cut your grass once a week, then there's no more product on your grass after like 3 weeks. And you get service once every quarter, that's an issue, right? Made that a problem, okay? So I'm winning in the yard no matter what. I always win in the yard, it's just the perspective that I take, okay? So I always win in the yard no matter what. Now if you're with Axiom and you do the wall injections, you do outlets, that's how you do the interior. Who sold for Axiom previously? Who, when they sold for Axiom, had the image of the wall outlet? How gas is that? What if their company treats the eaves? It also does the base. It does the yard. What's an easy differentiating factor with Axiom? No matter what. The outlets. It's different. Now, how do I set that up? Cool. So you guys are with Terminex. Okay, so like you know that if they do the inside, I don't know if you guys have ever had the inside done, but like the reason a lot of these guys like it, a lot of them have kids and pets. I'm saying this, I know they have kids and pets. Most people don't really like the whole chemical like all over the floor thing, just because obviously like you know how kids are, like they like put their hands everywhere and like put their mouth on everything. And if you got, looks like you guys got a little dog. You got a little dog, okay. Obviously like, you know, most people just don't really want like the chemical, like I'm sure you guys don't love like the chemical on the floor thing. What are they gonna say to that? Like, no, don't love that, right? Perfect. So what we do, first of all, bugs don't nest on the floor. They nest in the walls, okay? If they nested on the floor, you could just vacuum them up and it'd be really easy. We treat inside the wall because that's where they nest and breed and colonize. So we're actually getting there more efficiently and it's safer for you, so it's a win-win. Do you see how I just did that? So even if I didn't win on anything else, even if I didn't win in the yard, even if I didn't win in the eaves, what am I winning in? The interior. I'm winning. I just made that a problem, and I fixed it. I'm the only one that fixes it. My prescription fixes it, okay? Rodent baiting. What if you're in a market where they do the yard or they're fighting back a little bit? Like I've had customers be like, no, I've seen them granulate there, and I'm like, cool. Like, I'll let you have it. Eaves, they're like, no, I've seen them do that too. Cool, I'll let you have it. But I've gotten the deal because of rodent baiting. What happens? How many companies all the time are putting out bait boxes on every single, every single time somebody signs up? Like how many companies just automatically give out bait boxes? Not that many, okay? Are bait boxes better than sticky traps? They are better. Why? If they have rodents or if they've had rodents in the past, right? Sticky traps cost $2 from Home Depot, okay? How much do bait boxes cost in bait, right? Why do you need a license to have rodent bait, okay? Because that's what, like, if you have a rodent issue, we've had rodents at our house, it is a biatch. Rodents suck. So, actually, if they've had mice, right, at all, right, if I haven't won on any of these things yet, I'm gonna win in rodents. I'm gonna win, okay? I'm not gonna get got throughout the eaves, the base, the yard, the interior, I'm still displaying heavy credibility. I'd never get got. And when I get to the point where I make my win, right? And then I know that this company doesn't do rodent bait boxes, so I set it up. And then here's the big thing, right? Since like you guys are so close to the trees, tons of the folks in here, like I don't know if you've been here for a long time, like how long you guys been in the home? 10 years. Okay, cool, so you're probably pretty familiar. Tons of these guys in here, it's like, do you know what voles are? Do you know what mice are? Yeah, I know what mice are. Mice suck. If mice come, I'm gonna explain the issue that mice bring, right? I don't know if you know, mice are like the #1 cause of house fires in the US. Did you know that? Who knew that? Okay, you have pest control. Wes, you have pest control. You're paying Terminex, $700 a year. I come up, dude. You're in love with your guy. You love your technician, okay? You've had him for 15 years. He treats the eaves for you special, okay? So you're getting that, so I can't win there. I can't win in the base. I can't win in the interior because it doesn't bother you because you're, old guy and you just don't care about the whole safety of like kids and stuff, right? And then I barely win in the yard because you're kind of pushing back on like they granulate the yard or something. But dude, did you know that rodents are the #1 cause of house fires in the US? And you have like a pretty old home and you're pretty backed up into the trees, right? Like tons of the neighbors in here, I don't know if you've seen like or heard about, like have you heard about people like with mice? Yeah, mice suck, right? And Terminex right now is just doing, because like you guys are just doing the basic plan, you guys didn't upgrade and do the rodent baiting, like so you just got those little sticky traps right in your garage. Those are good, dude, but you could go to like Home Depot for $2. We do a whole rodent baiting program included. I'm immediately winning. Immediately, the momentum shifts. Do you feel that? I'm immediately winning. So you guys are seeing, right? Like I will win even in frequency. If you guys are selling Aptive, Pro Plus, I sometimes just purely win on the frequency making more sense for cold markets. If you're in a colder market, meaning a market that it has a winter, a heavy winter where it's 5 months of freezing, okay? Can I make quarterly sound not great? Yeah, you're gonna get 2 warm services and 2 cold services. That doesn't add up. Parker, you have a question or a comment?
Just really quick, just wanted to share like a real story from myself. So Bailey and I had pest control at our house, and then we canceled it like a year ago, and I just literally never got around to like getting it set back up. We were at a Jazz game like 3 or 4 months ago, and I got a call from my wife, and I thought someone had legitimately died. And she's like, there are mice in our house, and you better leave that game right now and come home. The funny thing is, I went to like Home Depot and I dropped like $120 on products. I could not get this guy. I called Aptive the next day. I had Skylar sign me up. Aptive came, solved the problem, and like having sold pest control for 8 years, but never having had like a rodent problem. You always like that's not like you tell customers it's a big deal. I literally think my wife was considering burning down our house.
100%.
And then Aptive solved the problem. So if you are going out with Aptive or Great X or whoever it is, like. Huge testimony that it works.
Oh yeah.
Marriage, right? So
100%. I freaked out. I snapped. Because like this is what you do, right? You put out these little sticky traps, you're trying to play like fair game for a bit, right? You're like, all right, we got mice, not that crazy. Because you see all this poop or whatever, you're like, frick, I'm gonna put some sticky traps out. Then you check behind the fridge again, and now the poop count has like quadrupled, and there's pee, and now it smells. And your freaking dog can't stop going after it, right? Yeah, you snap, 100%. People snap, and they are done with it. Because again, guys, their home is supposed to be what? Comfortable, happy, right? Do mice make anybody like who's like, oh, thank God I got a mouse in my house? Like, no, dude, they multiply like crazy, right? You tell people these stats. Every 2 to 3 weeks, they have a new litter. You tell them like all these new stats, they're #1 cause of house fires. They really do suck. And once you get them, like I don't know if like you'll ever honestly not get them because there's that pee and they smell it and do these freaking things come from miles away to come back to your house. It's insane. We freaking drove and dropped one off because my wife hates killing things. So we literally drove and dropped one off like miles away. And I swear to God, that thing came back because like, anyway, but. Yeah, so frequency, I want to talk about this really quick because if you guys are selling with Aptive, we have tons of people selling with Aptive. Okay, if they're doing quarterly, I got to poke a hole in that plan purely, and I'm going to make our Summer Pro Plus plan or our premium plan a better prescription for them, okay? Especially if you are in a market on the East Coast or Midwest where ticks are a big deal, okay? If ticks are a big deal, can you take care of ticks on a quarterly basis? No, absolutely not. You cannot, like, that's impossible. At once every 3 months, you just can't, okay? I don't like need to spell it out. Like, it's just too spread apart. Like, you're gonna mow your grass, it's gonna rain a lot. Like, the yard needs to be treated way more frequently for ticks to be taken care of. And then price is an easy one, right? If you're selling against, like, if EcoShield is in your market, like, undercutting is like a really, like, easy way to make somebody obviously see the value in switching, right? If they're paying, you know, especially like you're paying, you know, Terminex, $800 a year, but you're not getting anything in the yard and you're not getting anything for rodent baiting, then, right, like, that's actually way too expensive. Like, that's just crazy. We're $900 a year and we're coming 2 more times and we're doing the whole yard every single time. And dude, you have a half acre, don't you? Like, dude, you see how that just quickly adds up? Like, we're doing like 10 times more work, coming more, and you're paying only $200 more a year? If they're down to pay $700 and get mediocre service, like, does that not make sense for you guys? Like, how stoked would they be to get the right prescription and only have to pay? Like, imagine like, oh dude, you have an iPhone, Zach. You have an iPhone. My camera didn't work for how long? My iPhone. Like 2 years, okay? My camera, because it broke and I just was lazy, okay? If somebody would have come to me and been like, dude, you have an iPhone, how much did you pay for that? Like $1,000. You paid $1,000 and you can't even take pictures, right? You basically have a flip phone, right? The only thing you can do on it cool is like go on the internet and look up maps, right? You make that a big issue for me, I probably would have been pretty inclined to switch if I just would have been made aware. That's half of what it is in switchovers. It's not like this like big battle that you're having where you're arguing. It's no, I'm just making them aware of the differences and why our service is going to fit their needs better, okay? Now, once you win in all these things, you're going to roll out price. Once you roll out price, you have to pre-overcome the hassle. This is the last thing. This is the saddest thing about switchovers. There are so many people that do everything the right way. They roll out price and they think that it's like, okay, I've won. It's done. And then they're just going to say yes and like kind of like be eager to like call. I can't wait to call my company. I'm going to like get it all switched over. Dude, thank you so much for stopping by. Like, no, that's not how it works. Typically, the biggest reason why people don't switch is the hassle. It's just in some people's brain, like slightly, it's kind of like your phone thing. Like if you guys are with T-Mobile and like even though you've been frustrated with them because like you tried calling customer service and they didn't answer, or you were on hold for 30 minutes, or you've had like 1 million drop calls and you're like, I want to call Verizon, but it seems just like this big hassle. That was me with my iPhone. For a long time, I didn't have a camera that worked. Just simply, I was like, I don't want to go in and like have to do the whole hassle of getting a new phone. I just would rather have her take pictures, you know? So the hassle I get, all right? And I'm going to take away this out for them. So this is like what I do, guys. So I'm going to explain this really quick. For those of you that already took pictures, I put something in here that I say, and I'm going to make sure that you guys understand it. So let me just read this. Brock, can you be my guy again? BK slacking. Tell John. Okay, ready, Brock? Okay, then as far as switching goes, you're not under contract anymore. I'm telling them. I'm telling them. You're not under contract anymore. You guys have been with them for over a year, correct?
Yeah, we've been with Terminex since we've been back in 2018.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, even if you guys were still in contract and there was a cancellation fee, we would take care of it. Since you guys are out of contract, switching is super easy. Actually, we take care of that for you. All I need is something that shows that you have a pest control company. Like I need an invoice. I'm going to attach this to your account. It could be a text from your tech or even like a service report, bait boxes, sticky trap, whatever. Those are like all the things that I will like typically I'm watching them as I'm saying this and like I don't have to go through all of these options. I don't have to go all the way to like bait boxes or sticky traps. So I'm usually just like, yeah, I just need something that shows you have a pest control company, like an invoice or a text. And then I'll ask them and I'll close, do you have your phone on you? And then how I get this to just flop right over and be a sale, right? Okay, do you have your phone on you or is that your iPad that you already have out? Okay, perfect. Here, go to your email. Yeah. And then just type in Terminex at the top bar. Perfect. Terminex, okay, perfect. Yeah, that one, that'll work. Okay, and I take a picture of that thing, perfect. Okay, what's your last name? And I start switching them. I start signing them up. Okay, what I want to make really clear, I say this, guys, if they are for sure out of contract, some people are way weird and they'll throw up this like excuse and they'll be like, well, I just got to make sure I'm not in contract and I don't have a cancellation fee. I just got to make sure, okay? I take that away, like that worry of like they're going to get dinged by saying, because I know they're out of contract. So what do I say? Cool, yeah, even like you're out of contract, you've been with them for over a year, right? Cool. Even if you were with them, even if there was a cancellation fee, what? We'll take care of that for you. Okay? I don't want to start telling them how to switch yet. I want to sign them up first. Sign them up first. See how that deal just flopped over really easy? Because at this point, it's just like, yeah, let's just get it done, right? Sign them up. Easy. Cool. Now, as far as switching, let's just get this done. Go back to that email, reply to that email, tell them you want to cancel. Or even easier, like, because I'll just head out, just call them. Okay? I do, like, and then they do it. They cancel. Crazy, right? Like, it's just the craziest thing, right? Like, I just sign them up, right? And then I make sure that they understand the process of switching. I'll oftentimes give them my phone number in case they have questions. And now what are they thinking? Dude, this is great. This is great. I wanted my bugs to be gone. Dude, we have had some issues. You start hearing it. Then they start kind of telling you. They're like, dude, you know what? We were kind of just getting sick of them. Dude, they no-showed us. And you start hearing all the crap. All the beef that they had with their company. They're like, dude, you know what? Like, it just wasn't working. We kept getting ants. We've just had this and that. And now you're like, yeah, let me put that in your notes. Let me make sure that you're hooked up. Now that you're on like the better plan, like the right plan for you guys, I think you guys will be happy. If you guys have any questions or whatever, let me know. And then I'm out. Okay? Does that seem like crazy complicated? No. Yeah.
So you give an example of taking care of the cancellation fee. What do you do with the cancellation fee? Instead of all I will take care of it.
Yeah. There is no cancellation fee because they've been with them for over a year. So there's not one. So that's why I say it though, is because they're thinking like, well, what if? Well, what if? Because like I said, guys, like if you're a first year, this might not like mean a ton. If you're a vet, you've probably heard this before. They're like, it all sounds really good. It all sounds really good. I just got to make sure I can get out of it. Who's heard that before? I just got to make sure I can get out of it. Like they think it's like a mortgage or something that they're like stuck in for life, right? So that's why I'm pre-overcoming like the dude, there is no worry, there is no doubt. Even if there was like a cancellation fee, we would cover that for you. And we don't, just.
So with this, right, Calvin is speaking extremely confidently. You're sitting there as a rookie, you're like, dude, I don't know if Insight has a cancellation fee. All your managers do, and they find out very quickly in their market, if they don't already know, which companies do what, how long the contracts are, what service they do. And then very quickly when you get into markets, you'll know and you'll be trained on who the companies are, what services they provide, who they've recently been acquired by, and you'll get all the tools and resources to where when you hear, oh yeah, we're with Viking Pest Control, you're stoked.
You're
oh yeah,
stoked.
cool, Viking Pest Control, here's 3 customers that switched from Viking. This is why we're super different.
Yes. So that's what I'm going to talk about right now. I'm going to finish this thing up, so everyone stay with me for like 15 more minutes, okay? 10 more minutes. Okay. So poking holes in their current plan. This is a company that I sold against in Pittsburgh. Bennett Hayrand has worked with them, okay? I have their contract pulled up. This is how I'm going to poke holes, and this is going to be proof, because sometimes people need proof. Like, they need evidence that what you're saying is true. So I'm going to create problems. Okay, you see right here, I have it zoomed in. They have 4 scheduled seasonal services for $55 a month each month, even the months that they're not treating. That's like one, 50 whatever. It's one whatever a quarter, whatever. You guys do the math. Now up here, look, specialty services. Those are not included. Mice and rats, not included. Ticks. You live in Pennsylvania. Do you know what ticks are? Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. You have kids? Okay, cool. That's an issue then. Wasps. So really easy. Is that evidence right there that what we offer is just simply more? Simply better? Does that make sense? Cool, now I know every single time I run into this company, that's my angle. I'm gonna eventually get there. Every single time, okay? Every single time you wanna have a plan, okay? So I'm gonna do 3 different companies. You're gonna hear the angle that I'm gonna take on these companies. Company number 1, okay? I think this is Terminex. I think this is like the one that whatever. So they don't do the yard, they don't do ticks, road embedding is an upgrade, sometimes they don't treat the eaves, it's quarterly, and the price ranges from 89 to 150. I see kind of like what it is, and now I can kind of find my hole in that, the issue with it. And when I go against that company, or when they tell me they have that company, again, just like John said, I am stoked, because I know my angle, it's gonna work. It's a win, I know my win, I know it. Example number 2, they don't do the yard, doesn't include ticks, rarely have bait boxes, doesn't do the eaves. Now it's bi-monthly. This is probably EcoShield, right? Price ranges from like 130 to 250 because they charge expensive. What's my easy angle against an EcoShield? It's freaking expensive. You're paying for 6 services a year. If you're with Active, I'm gonna do 6 services a year, but I'm gonna do 5 of them in the summer when you need it. Not 2 or 3 winter treatments when you don't need 2 or 3 winter treatments. You only need 1. And I'm gonna give you ticks. I'm gonna do the whole yard. And I'm gonna do the eaves. Do you hear how that's just immediately better? Easy switch, right? And I'm probably gonna be able to charge a ton. I know what price I'm gonna charge them because they're paying 130 to 250 per thing. So what can I do a lot of the time? I don't even need to undercut. What can I do? I can simply just price match and then give them all this extra benefits because they're used to paying that. So why would I undercut? See that? Sometimes I'll even charge more, right? By a little bit. And that's a heroic switch. Those are your ones where you're walking away and they're like thanking you. Dude, I'm so glad you stopped by, dude. We have had so many things with the eaves. They just haven't come back. All this crap. And you're paying 180? Like, dude, that's an easy switch. This is another subscription, okay? I think you guys would, if you guys have sold for them or sold against them, you'll know who it is. It's a quarterly subscription for the house, 99 to 180, okay? Just like whatever, it's a really good house service. The issue though is rodent is totally a separate contract. To even get rodent bait boxes is a separate contract. To get the yard is a separate contract, another one. 3 contracts to do what we do in 1 contract. Do you see how that's an easy win? So now I have my route, I have my angle, I know what I'm doing on that when I run into that customer. So guys, this is why, like, if you're knocking in a market where there's other companies and they're doing really well and they have a lot of customers, you should be stoked. Because once you figure out what that win angle is, you just hit that win angle on every single one. You build your rapport, you do your thing, you set it up real nice, you get into the service and you win. You're blunt, you're direct, you're blunt, you're direct, you're blunt, you're direct, blunt, direct. And then you switch them at the end, and then you tell them how to cancel, and it's easy. Do's and don'ts, really quick. Okay. Do's, yeah, totally, yeah, be really good at making decisions. Seem like you're very decisive, totally. Take control of the conversation, totally. You got to tell them what they're getting a lot of time, because if you start asking them, then they'll just be like, do they do the yard? Like, I think, yeah, they do. I've seen them out there. Like, if you start asking them, they're just going to start telling you that they do everything that you do. So you tell them, you take control. Don't say like sorta, kinda, maybe, a little. Those are minimizers. Yeah, so we sort of do a little bit more. The reason why some of these people kind of like us more, you hear that's like not worth switching? That's not worth switching. Make it worth switching, okay? And then don't communicate arrogance. This will also put up walls for people. You have Terminex? Oh yeah, dude, here we go. Okay, so that's like, immediately they're gonna put up walls, okay? Immediately, okay? And then this is one thing that I hear all the time from vets. If you're a vet, I want you guys to stop doing this. Do you have a company or not yet? Yeah, we do. We have Terminex. Oh, Terminex. They're a really, really good company. I would never say anything bad about them. That being said, and then you get into saying all these bad things about them. Don't tell them I would never say anything bad about them. Just like, you're making it way too like emotional. Like you're making it way too complicated. Just get into it. They don't care that much. Like I said, it's not a big deal to switch. They probably don't even know who their technician is. They probably like have only been with this company for like 2 years. They've maybe seen their technician once or twice. It's just like, don't make it like this extra like emotional thing. So that's it. So I tried to break it down pretty simple. What questions do you guys have? Do you guys have any last questions?
So I noticed that you said that contracts when you're talking with the other company. So usually contract is like a word that you stay away from talking about your own company. Is that intentional?
Yeah, I'm just really direct in these switchovers. So it's like, yeah, like it's just that's a maximizer. I'm using that to my advantage. Like if, oh, that's another contract for the yard. That's another contract for this. Yeah, I'm gonna maximize that because that sounds like, dude, you have 3 contracts. That sounds, doesn't sound good, right?
When you're helping them cancel the contract, you're able to sit back and help them do it, or
Yeah.
you just leave immediately?
Almost never do I stick back and they can tell that I'm the guy, right? I am moving on. Like, dude, I got people to see, but hey, like, let me just show you how to do this before I leave. Like, that's how I'm doing it, right? So dude, just call this number. I'm taking control of the process for them to cancel, and I don't seem like they don't feel like, oh, he's just like dipping out like as fast as he can. I'm like making sure they get it. So dude, literally just go to that number right there, call it. It's super easy. If they give you a hard time, text me, dude. It should be like the easiest thing ever. All these guys like called and canceled. It's like I said, you've been with them, you're out of contract. If they do give you any grief, just text me, okay? Okay, man, have a good one. And I'm out. In the back, Cody.
Yeah, Cal, what's kind of your mindset going into switchovers? Because I remember in summer of 2019, whenever I would get Terminex, it would always kind of just be frustrating, very flustering. I would just be like, cannot get these darn Terminex ones. So kind of walk us through your mindset and almost why you're kind of excited, especially that we sell Pro Plus and Premium, and even that we should charge them more.
Yeah, guys, Terminex is like the Walmart of pest control, okay? So I go with I know my angles. I know who Terminex is owned by, Rent-A-Kill. They just got acquired by this European company, so I know that could be an angle that could work on old people that are patriotic, okay? That we are American, okay? That's a good one. I know that they typically, like Walmart, right? It's not like they are a small company that need the clients. They mainly get their business from commercial. So typically it's kind of like a quick and dip service, right? And again, what do I know? I know that they don't do the yard. I know what I win on, so I'm just poking holes in these things and I'm going at the Terminex with that angle. And so yeah, once you get invoices, your team, when you guys are out in market, your team will share invoices. You guys will have a whole bank of invoices and product descriptions. You'll even probably get some emails that shows like what chemicals the companies are using, and that's going to create immediate like you're stoked to go against that company. You have bigger guns. You just have bigger guns. You know what the guns are that you have. It's better. Okay, I think we got probably 2 more.
When you're building the value that like differentiates your service, are you pulling out those aces to kind of add to that, or are you waiting for like the rack to start?
I make the wins like whatever the main wins are. A lot of times though, to get like there's even more momentum going that way is like cool. And then a lot of these guys like in the back, do you guys have a deck or patio, right? And I'm like starting to walk back there. I'm like, here, is it wood? Okay, here, come back here, I'll show you. And then I'll customize the service for them so they even feel like maybe a little bit more of a win, but like I still have my basic wins that I've like established as like no matter what, those are my ones.
2 more questions. We're going to Josh and switchovers can be long and draining. How do you have the energy to keep going through all this stuff even when it's monotonous?
I think it's only draining if you make it emotional on yourself. Like if you make the sale like, hey, I know you're with Terminex, don't have anything bad to say about them, and then you start kind of like tiptoeing around it, you feel like you have to like really be careful with your words. Like, do you guys hear how blunt I am? Like talking to you, I'm pretty close to this. I just maybe like, I'm more smiley, like more with the customer. But like when I establish rapport at the beginning, what does that allow me to do? Be direct, be blunt. Okay, so I actually don't think that switchovers, like genuinely guys, like, and I know that Drew Seeger is the same, Cody, like if you guys like want to sell at like a really high level, you have to view switchovers as honestly like likely. When I'm in a neighborhood, in a market where pest control is less common, like not the South, like Florida, some of these places are more common. If I'm in an area where somebody has a company and not everybody in the area, like it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like kind of like a here and there situation, 50-50. If they have a company, I'm gonna win. Like boom, and I'm stoked for it. So it doesn't feel like a lot of energy. Why? Because I'm stoked about it. Like, I know the angles, I'm eager to get to the points, I'm eager to get to my wins. It seems really likely that I'm gonna get that deal. So would I rather spend energy in that deal where I know the angle to win, I know they don't want bugs, that's why they have pest control, or would I rather take my chances with somebody that doesn't have a company, doesn't see the value in it, and I'm gonna have to convince them of pest control just making sense, period.
Now, as far as like people that are super loyal to companies, how do you pre-overcome?
Yeah, just you notice how objective I made it, right? Again, like in the South or in some places, I know you guys will probably, or have, if you haven't knocked yet, you will run into people that are like obscenely loyal to their guy. If they don't do the yard, they don't do the yard. Like, you know, it is what it is, right? Like, I'm sure your guy's awesome. Rarely, I get this from Brock, rarely do I have to whip this out, but if I need to, I do, right? Dude, you really don't care who kills your bugs. You couldn't care any less. Like, he's here once a quarter. Like, you don't, it's not like it's that big of a deal. Typically, he's not like staying over for dinner, right? Let's just do this. Try me out. Again, this is where I go, my try me mantra. Try me out. We are winning in these categories, so a win is a win. It is better. Just try it. You want to try it? Try it for 12 months, see if you like it. Worst case scenario, guys, this is such a good line. Worst case scenario, dude, we do all this extra work for you. We do all this extra work, we get rid of more bugs, and after 12 months, if we don't earn your business, you go back to paying still a ton of money and still not getting the yard. That'd be the worst case scenario. I think we'll earn your business. I think you should try it. You want to try it? Then ask them for the deal, and they usually go. Okay, let's be done there. Thanks, guys.
Stack your chairs in these racks, there's pizza in the back, pretty blessed.
Thanks, dude.
We kick it, eat ticket, make money one way. Now what they gon' say? I don't need it. To really tell the truth, man, they life is defeated. They quite conceited. They rockin' all that ice that's treated. I wrote a book about it, like to read it.
Back in 96, when I made you move your feet. The feeling's back, so get up out your seat. Let's do it again and again and again. Do you remember how I used to be? Back in 96, when I made you move your feet. The feeling's back, so get up out your seat. Let's do it again and again and again. Say, oh, yeah, yeah. Hands in the sky. Put 'em up high. Oh, yeah, yeah. Hands in the sky. Put 'em up high. Engine in the back, no rooftop. Feet on gas with no need for cash. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Trunk in the front. I make $1 million in a month, like pumps in the bumps. You know, Mason be that very fellow. Dipped in canary yellow, hand so heavy that it's hard to say hello. I'm some you got to have, like strawberry jello. Same jury in the hood, cause I ain't scared of the ghetto. You know it. Do you remember how I used to be? Back in 96, when I made you move your feet. The feeling's back, so get up out your seat. Let's do it again and again and again. Do you remember how I used to be? Back in 96, when I made you move your feet. The feeling's back, so get up out your seat. Let's do it again and again and again. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Dedicated to all the pretty girls. Pretty girls. All the pretty girls in the world, and the ugly girls too. Cause to me you pretty anyway, baby. You give me your number, I call you up. You act like your pussy on interrupt. I don't have no trouble with you fucking me, but I have a little problem with you not fucking me. Baby, you know I'ma take care of you, cause you say you got my baby and I know it ain't true. Is it a good thing? No, it's bad, bitch. For good or worse, makes you switch. So I walk on over with my crystal. Bitches, niggas, put away your pistol. Dirty won't be having it in this house, cause bitch, I'll cripple your style. Now that you heard my charming voice, you couldn't get another nigga. Your coochie won't get moist. If you wanna look good and not be bummy, yo, you better give me that money.
Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. I said, hey, baby, I got your money. Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. I said, hey, baby, I got your money.
Yo, so I glanced at the girl glanced at me. I whispered in the air, you wanna be with me? You wanna look pretty though in my video. Oh, dirty on Manhattan, I let you all know. Just dance if you caught up in the Holy Ghost trance. If you stop, I'ma put them killer ants in your pants. I'm the ODB, as you can see. FBI, don't you be watching me. I don't want no problems, cause I put you down in the ground where you cannot be found. I'm just dirt dog trying to make somebody. So give me my streaks and give me my honey. Radios play this all day, every day. Recognize I'm a fool and you love me. None of you better look at me funny. You know my name down, give me my money.
Hey, dirty.
Sing it.
Baby, I got your money.
Sing it, girls.
I said, hey.
Just sing it right
Baby,
now.
I got your money.
If 31 is money, I think y'all should give him his money.
Baby, I got your money.
That's how I like
Don't
it,
you
girl.
worry. I said, hey. Baby, I got your money.
Sexy, sexy, sexy. Sexy, sexy, sexy. Sexy, sexy, sexy.
Yo, nigga played in the club like this all night. Bitches, put your ass out and let me hold it tight. You looking at my wrist saying, this so nice. The price, bitch, is diamond shining disco line. You better help me solve my problem. I'ma get this money and rob them. Lucky dog when I won the lotto. Ran up on my car, I'm carrying Rollo. But hold on, you can call me dirty and then lift up your skirt. And you want some of this dirty? God made dirt and dirt bust your ass. Stop annoying me, yeah, play my music loud. And take the back to no dirty to move the crowd. Just say he had his dick in his mouth. Eddie Murphy taught me that back of the house. But give me my money.
Baby, I got your money. Don't you worry. I said, hey. Baby, I got your money. Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money. Don't you worry. I said, hey. Baby, I got your money. Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money. Don't you worry. I said, hey. Baby, I got your money.
Give me my money.
Hey, give me my money. Baby, I got your money. Don't you worry. I said, hey. Baby, I got your money. Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money. Don't you worry. I said, hey. Baby, I got your money. Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money. Don't you worry.
I'm sprung, dog, she got me doing things I'll never do. If you ain't been, I'm telling you, I'm sprung, dog, she got me doing things I'll never do. If you ain't been, I'm telling you, you do, you do, you do, you do, you do. She got me doing the dishes. Anything she want for some kisses. I'm cooking for her when she gets hungry. All she doing is acting like she want me. She counting up all my hoes. Before she come and try to get me, and I'm taking everything with me. But it all come down to how strong. No, she got me doing things I'll never do. If you ain't been, I'm telling you, I'm strong. She got me doing things I'll never do. If you ain't been, I'm telling you, you do. So we went our separate ways. It's been a couple of days, but now I'm doing what I want to. But nobody telling me what I'm gonna do. And I'm feeling so free with nobody but me. Now I can handle all my business. All of my fellas, can I get a witness? But I'm feeling kinda lonely. On top of that, I'm kinda horny. And I gotta get back to her. But now I'm leaving quickly. Before she come and try to get me, and I'm taking everything with me. But it all comes down to how strong. No, she got me doing things I'll never do. If you ain't been, I'm telling you, I'm strong. She got me doing things I'll never do. If you ain't been, I'm telling you, you do. She got me doing what I want to. Yeah, you sprung and I told you you don't agree with me. In the end, you see that. She got you doing what you won't do. Yeah, you sprung and I told you. It's me or you and she. Now you see she got you, got you, got you, got you. She got you.
Ready for action, nip it in the bud, we never relaxing. Outcast is everlasting, not clashing, not at all. But see, my nigga went to do a little acting. Now that's for anyone asking. Give me one and pass 'em. Drip, drip, drop, there goes an orgasm. Now you coming out the side of your face, we tapping right into your memory banks. Thanks. So click at the ticket, let's see your seatbelt fasten. Trunk rattling like two midgets in the back seat wrestling. Speaker box vibrate the tag, make it sound like aluminum cans in a bag. But I know y'all wanted that 808, can you feel that BASS bass? But I know y'all wanted that 808, can you feel that BASS bass? I like the way you move. I like the way you move. Woo, I love the way you move. I love the way. I love the way. I love the way you move. I love the way you move. Woo, I love the way you move. I love the way. Silent, the girls all paused with glee. Turning left, turning right, thought they looking at me. Well, I was looking at them, they're on the dance floor. Now they got me in the middle, feeling like a man whore. Especially the big girls need love too, no discrimination, near squirrel. So keep your hands off my cheeks, let me study how you ride the beat, you big freak. Skinny, slim women got the camel toe within them. You can hump them, lift them, bend them, give them something to remember. Hell out timber when you fall through the chop shop. Take a deep breath and exhale. Your ex-male friend, boyfriend was boring as hell. Well, let me listen to the story you tell, and we can make moves like a person in jail. On the low, ho. I like the way you move. I like the way you move. Woo, I love the way you move. I love the way. I love the way. I love the way you move. I love the way you move. Woo, I love the way you move. I love the way. I love the way.
Shake your money maker like somebody about to pay ya. I see you on my radar, don't you act like you afraid of shit.
You know I got it, if you wanna come get it, stand next to this money like, hey, hey, hey.
Shake your money maker like somebody about to pay ya. Don't worry about them haters, keep your nose up in the air.
You know I got it, if you wanna come get it, stand next to this money like, hey, hey, hey.
Shake, shake, shake your money maker. Like you was shaking it for some paper. Took your mama 9 months to make ya. Might as well shake what your mama gave ya. You looking good in them jeans. I bet you look even better with me in between. I keep my mind on my money, money on my mind. But you's a hell of a distraction when you shake your behind. I got J.O. up on my right side, pouring some cups. My whole hood is to my left and they ain't giving a fuck. So feel free to get loose and get carried away. So by tomorrow you forgot what you were saying today. But don't forget about this feeling that I'm making you get. And all the calories you burn from me making you sweat. The mile high points you earn when we taking my jet. And how every way you turn, I be making you wet, cause you can
shake your money maker like somebody about to pay ya. I see you on my radar, don't you act like you afraid of shit.
You know I got it, if you wanna come get it, stand next to this money like, hey, hey, hey.
Shake your money maker like somebody about to pay ya. Don't worry about them haters, keep your nose up in the air.
You know I got it, if you wanna come get it, stand next to this money like, hey, hey, hey.
Switch it from right to left and switch it till you're running right out of breath and take a break until you're ready again and you can invite over as many friends as you want to, but I really want you. Just be thankful that Pharrell gave you something to bump to. Hey, Luda, I'm at the top of my game. You want my hands from the bottom to the top of your frame, and I just wanna take a little ride on your curves and get it right at giving your body just what it deserves. And let me give you some swimming lessons on the penis. Backstroke, breaststroke, stroke of a genius. Yep, call me the Renaissance man. Get up, and I stay harder than a cinder block, man. Hey, I'm just a bedroom gangster, and I've been meaning to tell you that I really must thank you when you
shake your money maker like somebody about to pay ya. I see you on my radar, don't you act like you afraid of shit.
You know I got it, if you wanna come get it, stand next to this money like, hey, hey, hey.
Shake your money maker like somebody about to pay ya. Don't worry about them haters, keep your nose up in the air.
You know I got it, if you wanna come get it, stand next to this money like, hey, hey, hey.
Rock it and make it work, girl. Please don't stop it until it hurt, girl. You been looking a little tipsy, so if you could just shake it a little this way. See, I'm a member of the BBC, the original breadwinner of DTP, and you the center of attention that's distracting the squad. Cause everybody in the camp is like, oh my God, she could
shake your money maker like somebody about to pay ya. I see you on my radar, don't you act like you afraid of shit.
You know I got it, if you wanna come get it, stand next to this money like, hey, hey, hey.
Shake your money maker like somebody about to pay ya. Don't worry about them haters, keep your nose up in the air.
You know I got it, if you wanna come get it, stand next to this money like, hey, hey, hey.
Get money all over again, get money all over again. Get money all over again, get money all over again. Nah, double up. Yo, when you look in my eyes, what you see? A sincere man or just a bunch of G? Why second guess a brother will last? It took a whole clip from Magellan to Ave. The Buddha's in Aruba, boats and hovercrafts. So a biggie love the dough, murder love the cash. Butter Benz, gave the Tahoe to my other half. If she got the Benz, then guess what mommy had? Why Drake tell her waiter too much ice in the crisp. Blink so drunk, he think we singing nice like this. He said when he grew up, he want a life like this. Sleep all day, plus you rock ice like this. Got girls throwing head, I ain't even touch dice. I ain't trust Don King, I'ma trust Mike. I date bull daggers, now trust dykes. Need a cleaner Nina, cause they don't bust right. I ain't stingy when everybody see the plush light. By ring before the Benz, so it look just right. Girls love me, try to get the girl to love Mike. All I need is cup and Kool-Aid, I got enough ice.
All I ever wanted was you for me. Cause that nigga who I'm with don't give a fuck about me. All I ever wanted was to be there for you. Cause that girl
you cry. You look like your life has just been minimized. I ain't your man, I'm your man on the side. You just call me when you plan to slide. And if you ever feel like you wanna creep, all you got to do is just give me a beat. Only way I won't call you back unless I'm sleep. Getting my money or land up with a piece. We hit the block, shop a lot. She see a man, but she don't wanna drop the top. And you know that don't really mean a thing to me. Can't no girl ever run game on me. You know Mace, got a lot of places to be. Spots in Ohio, kicking and see. And I be with older dudes and know the rules. So if a man pick up, I know what code to use.
All I ever wanted was you for me. 'Cause that nigga who I'm with don't give a fuck about me. All I ever wanted was to be there for you. 'Cause that girl who you with don't give a fuck about you.
If you cheat on me, I'ma cheat on you. If you don't speak of me, I won't speak of you. I tell you now, we wait about a week or two. Then I know what we could do. We could just get our food and stay in. Cause people on the block is hating. They know your man and know we dating. So we got to do this just to stay friends. Amen. I lay back, I zone. You say that it's on. Then the girl tried to snatch the phone. So I knew I was happy at home. Come on.
All I ever wanted was you for me. 'Cause that nigga who I'm with don't give a fuck about me. All I ever wanted was to be there for you. 'Cause that girl who you with don't give a fuck about you. All I ever wanted was you for me. 'Cause that nigga who I'm with don't give a fuck about me. All I ever wanted was to be there for you. 'Cause that girl who you with don't give a fuck about you. All I ever wanted was you for me. 'Cause that nigga who I'm with don't give a fuck about me. All I ever wanted was to be there for you. 'Cause that girl who you with don't give a fuck about you. So she don't care. All I ever wanted was you for me. 'Cause that nigga who I'm with don't give a fuck about me. All I ever wanted was to be there for you. 'Cause that girl who you with don't give a
Now, who's hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell out in the stores. You tell me who flop, who cop the blue drop, who jewels got blocks, who's mostly Dolce down to the blue top. The same old pimp, Mace, you know ain't nothing changed but my limp. Can't stop till I see my name on the blimp. Guarantee a million sales for the level up. You don't believe in Harlem World, nigga, double up. We don't play around, it's a bet, lay it down. Niggas didn't know me 91, bet they know me now. I'm the young Harlem nigga with the Goldie sound. Can't no PD, niggas hold me down. Cooler, school me to the game, now I know my duty. Stay humble, stay low, blow like Hootie. True pimp, niggas spin no dough on the booty. And when you yell, there go Mace, there go your cutie.
See me die than to see me fly. I call all the shots, rip all the spots, rock all the rocks, cop all the drops. I know you're thinking now when all the ball is stopped. Nigga never home, gotta call me on the yacht. 10 years from now, we'll still be on top. Yo, I thought I told you that we won't stop. Now what you gonna do with a crew that got money much longer than yours? And a team much stronger than yours. Violate me, this a BO day. We don't play, mess around, be DOA, be on your way. Cause it ain't enough time here, ain't enough lime here for you to shine here. Deal with many women, but treat down's fair. And I'm bigger than the city lights down in Times Square. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
P-O-P-P-A, no info for the
DEA, federal agents mad cause I'm flagrant. Tap myself and the phone in the basement. My team supreme, stay clean. Triple beam, lyrical dream. I be that. Catch a seat at all events bent. Gats in holsters, girls on shoulders. Playboy, I told ya, me and Mike to me, bruise too much, I lose too much. Step on stage, the girls boo too much. I guess it's